Finally for us, though, this half hour, for many kids, going to recess, probably the highlight of the school day, right? Get some energy out of your system, some much needed exercise. But recently, and over really the past number of years, some schools have sort of strayed away from that. Well, there is currently a bill in the New York State Legislature that would make recess mandatory for all elementary school kids in the state. Right now, the bill is in a Senate committee waiting on a vote. Joining us live here in studio to talk about it, though, is Senator Sean Ryan, who is one of the co-sponsors of this bill. We reached out to your colleague, Senator Skoufis, because I saw his name on it. Didn't realize you're one of the co-sponsors on this. It's great to have you in. And it's one of those things, when this kind of got reported on across the state earlier this week, drew a lot of attention. We all think back, we always had recess, right? How big of a problem is this that some schools aren't doing it?
Well, some people think of recess as just sort of the fun time.
Yeah.
But really, if you listen to the American Academy for Pediatrics, they view recess as a time for a child to reset during the school day. It's good for their social needs, good for their psychological needs. It's good for them to burn that energy off. So some schools slid away from recess during the pandemic. You find some of the urban schools and some of the rural schools just power through the day. The City of Buffalo Public Schools, they've been a leader in this. They do 20 minutes of recess every day for kindergarten to 6th grade. This bill would require a 15-minute recess from kindergarten to 5th grade. And most importantly, it's to get outside if you can. So if it's reasonable to take the children outside, get them outside, really change up their day, helps them learn.
Yeah, you talked about some of the science with this. We did some digging today into some of the research and benefits out there. And teachers across the country, have kind of seen this. We'll show our viewers here a little bit of video. There is some Centers for Disease Control and Prevention data that says, this benefits improving memory, attention concentration, helps stay on task in the classroom, obviously improving social skills as well. And then you think of the obesity epidemic around the country. On the flip side, we have heard from some teachers who say, look, I have all these requirements, right, from the state of New York, from the federal government. I've got to focus on, math, science, reading. And if you don't have time for it, you don't have time for it. How do you do that balance? I guess you're saying it's 15 minutes.
It's 15 minutes, but if you have to cut out, you don't start with recess. So I think a lot of times people think it's valueless. It's just an add-on for fun. But looking at the research that you noted and others, it's more than that. It really promotes the learning. My mother was a pre-kindergarten coordinator, and she started, every teacher she hired said, you're going to be outside 20 minutes a day, rain or shine. And she always said, your kid cannot learn without breaking up the day and being outside. Turns out my mom's old tales were right, and the research backs that up.
Before I move on to my final question, just to follow up real fast, chances of this passing?
I think it's a high chance of passing. Most of the districts in New York State already do it. And so we just want to pull everyone else along.
All right. Before we let you go, I've got about a minute left here. Bigger picture, the budget is now done, right? So the legislative session continues. This is one of many, many bills that will be debated and discussed. The budget was a month late. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of us look at that and say, what in the world happened? How do you view what came out of the budget as a progressive Democrat in a state where, a lot of different factions battling over a lot of different stuff?
It's a good, balanced budget. Middle of the road. We did things like hold the line on SUNY tuition increases while making investments in SUNY, which is really good for the middle class. We don't want people not going to college because they can't afford it. So we have a lot of items like that. It wasn't an earth-shattering budget, but we made a big commitment to education that we continued, and we held the line on SUNY tuition. So by and large, for Western New York, a very good budget.
And maybe next year it'll get done closer to on time.
We hope so.
A lot of bail reform was just a thing that took a long time to get both sides together. Are you happy with how it turned out?
Yeah, that held it up. Then when we got that out of the way, we still had the whole budget to negotiate. So next year we hope we can start a little earlier and get that budget done on time.
Yeah. State Senator Sean Ryan, 61st District here in Western New York. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, great seeing you.
Keep us updated on the recess bill. We'll follow it.
You got it.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us here at 5:30 tonight.